One. Good morning, golfers. Welcome to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY. Our YouTube and Facebook pages brought to us by Boyne Golf. Speaking of Boyne Golf, I'm joined by the head golf architect for Boyne, all the courses that they have. Ray Hearn joining us. Ray, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Love being on your show and love working for Boyne.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I talked to T.R. Hollis, their new marketing director, and you've got a little new project on the Ross Memorial coming up.
Absolutely. Well, it's actually more than coming up. It's come up.
Oh, okay. You've already been out there.
We started construction on hole number three, and it's so cool. The vision that Steve Kircher has with his team, and obviously Bernie Friedrich is a big part of it, and the whole team. Josh, the director of operations, just these guys have vision. They get it, and they do it right on all levels.
So the hole is being changed. Is that right, Ray? It was a hole from Oakland Hills, and now it's going to be changed.
Yes, it's a hole from one of my favorite courses in the United States, Wannamoisett, and it's their famous par 3.
Yeah, Justin Thomas's favorite hole in golf.
Oh my goodness, he is all over Instagram, Facebook, every social media with his videos on that hole. And he loves the course. Said the course is one of my favorite. Now, you and I have talked about this many times. The almighty holy grail that a lot of owners and resorts and private clubs pursue on yardage. Got to have yardage. It's a relatively short course.
I'm sure it is.
It's a lesser par, and when you have PGA Tour officials just stack up and rave about this, it's phenomenal. And Andrew Green just hit a home run on that. He did. Great architect. Very, very, very busy man now. Very, very busy. You gotta be careful when you're successful. And on my level, I'm very content. We get phone calls all the time. I'll just say this: in the golf industry now, I thought it would never come around again, Jerry, after the Great Recession. But you gotta learn to say no, which is hard to do, but
hard to do,
I've learned to say it. You got to service. You got to service the great clients that you have. Well, and I'm not saying that he's not doing that, but man, the expansion that some of these architects are, and I know as they get busier and busier, and they're throwing in new 18s and major renovations in short time. They have a plethora and a vagabond of employees now, and it's like, wow, that comes from a little tiny boutique ship. Now they're Donald Ross production in modern times, and it's mind-boggling.
It's really funny, I know you've renovated many Donald Ross courses. It's kind of your bailiwick, and
a lot of Willie Park Jr. and a lot of Tom Bendelow, and a few Colton Allison. So we mix them in, but you're right. Ross is one of my favorites. Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Ross got obviously a lot of coverage when we had the PGA at Aronimink. Kevin Frisch and I did a show after instead of previewing, after all the bitching that the pros made of Aronimink, and we had your 11th hole version on the Donald Ross Memorial, which turned out to be a very pivotal hole in that tournament.
Yes, it is. Needless to say, it's it's a very I don't want to use the word confrontational golf green, but it's complex. I'll just say this, highly complex. And the some of the polite PGA Tour players expressed their concern about the high complexity of that
Yes.
green.
You're being
So,
so very polite.
oh
Look
yeah,
at,
you got to.
I mean, for, you and I, Ray, kind of speak a little golf architecture together. I'm certainly not in your realm, but for the uninitiated, I mean, Donald Ross golf courses have always been the biggest offense has been the greens. That's generally speaking the
Absolutely.
way it's built.
Yeah.
So, and you've had a chance to not only restore a lot of those greens, but rebuild them like on the Ross Memorial. So tell our listeners what makes Ross greens unique.
Yeah. Obviously, for his time period, Ross was a great player and a great putter. Great putter. And he was always of the philosophy, no matter how hard a green is, if you're below the hole and you're putting uphill, you're good. So now on turtle shell greens, that's where it gets complex.
Right.
And Ross was so very concerned, and it's all in his literature. It's no secret of surface training greens because they didn't have a lot of subsurface in that era.
Yeah, of course
So
not. It was
he didn't want the Alistair McKenzie folds and nooks and hollows that C.B. McDonald also did and Tillinghast. So he was kind of a guy that he'd have some folds, but he was really
shapes. Yeah.
really concerned, and this is where it was artful about the complexity of the green surrounds and how they came into play when you're approaching the green in a traditional way, and then you got to feed it in, or when you go off, you got a recovery shot that you got to use a lot of gray matter to recover. He was very good at that, and famous with as famous for his surrounds as he was to his greens.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. When Ray and I return, we're going to get a little bit more into depth onto how that spelled out for big problems for professional golfers, not only at Aronimink, but a lot of the other courses that Ross has in play in major tournament. And then we're going to catch up with Ray and his busy schedule and how often he's jumping on the plow. Back
Whew.
after these on Up North Sports Radio's Finding Fairways, brought to us by Boyne. One. Time to check in with our good friends at Boyne Golf. TR Hollis in his office in Boyne. And TR, I'm so excited to be playing in the Epson Pro-Am next Wednesday on the beautiful Heather's course. Your note sent me, I know they're getting that course in pristine shape for the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's pristine all season long, luckily, but I think they're putting a little extra effort into it, and it looks incredible out there.
I hope they don't make it too tough. I haven't played very often yet this year, but 60th anniversary. Boy, that I was 9 years old.
I know it was far before my time, but yeah, 60 years, the Heather, and it has kept up and still a challenge to this day. Having the pros out there, it's going to be absolutely incredible.
It's funny. I wouldn't think of it as that old, but the routing is so special. It's not routed at all like a golf course that was built in the 50s. Usually it was up and back. There's, dog leg rights, dog leg lefts, some greens carved into the side of hills. It's just a great golf course. There's probably so many people that are watching and listening that have played it but haven't been there in a decade or more.
It's honestly, you can go back every week, you can go back every year. It is always a great track to experience, honestly. All of them are, but the Heather is a special one. The spark that made Northern Michigan America's summer golf capital, truly one of a kind, and we're very lucky to have it in our portfolio.
Yeah, I interviewed a gal that is playing next week who played last year, and she was raving about not only the condition, but just how unique a track it is. And that's probably the coolest thing about all 10 courses and the short course. They're all so different. I've been up here for a long time touting Northern Michigan golf, and we've got a ton of great resorts, but a lot of the golf courses tend to be somewhat the same. That is not the case with all the tracks at Boyne.
No, and yeah, and we have changes and innovations and improvements happening all the time. So each Boyne experience is different and have some pretty exciting things coming up on the horizon too.
Yeah, you told me that you're making a change out at the Ross Memorial.
Yeah. So just announced number 3 there is going to be renovated. Donald Ross and his vision. So taking some inspiration from Wanamoysit and number 3 there, which I actually just read is Justin Thomas's favorite par 3 in the world. So it's going to be right here at Boyne Golf, and we're thrilled for that to debut in 2027.
I can't wait to talk to Ray Hearn. Ray Hearn is, I'm sure, doing that hole for you guys, and he's going to be on the show this week. So I'm sure that'll be one of our topics of conversation. I want to ask him a little bit about the U.S. Open venue at Shinnecock, and Ray is, if nothing more than a historian of great golf architecture.
Oh, absolutely incredible. That's going to be a good one to tune into.
And then you referenced, and I didn't think about this from a standpoint of playing golf, but we just got done with the longest day of golf as far as all the guys trying to qualify for the U.S. Open all across the country. But you've got a great, unique experience at Boyne you can pull off.
Oh, we do. I know. Summer solstice is here, longest days of the year, and no one does it. No one does long summer June days like Northern Michigan. So yeah, make sure to visit BoyneGolf.com before August and the summer fills up, and get here and experience truly one of a kind of the best golf in the country.
I'll ask you one quick question then that refers to that. What's the most holes of golf you've played in one day?
That is a great question. And an odd number. I think it's somewhere between 60 and 70 sometime when I was 15 or 16 years old, funny enough, right here at Boyne Golf's properties. So
wow.
Yeah.
Go get after it, folks. See how many. I think my number's probably right around 55. Caddying at Oakland Hills. Some of it was caddying, and then bad weather, and played as much as we could until we couldn't see the golf ball anymore.
It is. What a perfect place to do it. As someone who can attest to it.
There you go. T.R. Hollis, BoyneGolf.com. Book those rounds out, and already booking for 27 if you want to get a perfect weekend in a perfect big group.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jerry.
Yeah, TR, I'll see you out at the Heathers next week during the Epson event.
Imagine your ultimate golf experience. There's a good chance it's Michigan's Magnificent 11. 11 spectacular courses from Boyne Golf, varied in both topography and play. Boyne Golf was named the #1 best golf destination in USA Today Reader's Choice 2025, and the Highlands at Harbor Springs is the #2 golf resort in that same USA Today poll. The ultimate golf experience. That's Michigan's Magnificent 11.
Ian Murphy from the Iron Pig here. We spent a lot of time reinventing our space in downtown Gaylord. How long has it been since you were really excited about a cocktail and dining experience? Visit Prohibition on Main Street in Gaylord, open 4 to 10 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. The adventure begins as soon as you walk in the door. Magical house-made cocktails, unique and savory small plates you won't find anywhere else. Explore Prohibition.com and seriously shake up your social life.
Grandview Golf Club in Kalkaska has set the standard for the best value golf in northern Michigan. Grandview has all the amazing golf vistas you expect in the pricey resorts without the pricey. Incredible season membership rates and ladies and men's leagues are now forming. Visit GrandviewGolfNorth.com to play your new favorite track. The newly renovated clubhouse with full bar and simulators is open and makes Grandview Golf Club an unforgettable golf experience. Call 231-258-3244 to play today.
Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio, brought to us by Boyne Golf. Jerry Coyne and Ray Hearn hashing out some golf architecture. One of our Ray's favorite topic. He gets paid for it. But, you know, it was really funny, Ray. So Aronimink leading up to the tournament, and of course weather had a little bit to do with this, but especially Rory McIlroy, you know, was saying like, this course is too short, this is easy, the bomber's going to kill this place. And then they play the first round on Thursday, and everybody's running into the press tent to saying that the course is unfair.
You know what? You hit, Jerry, spot on. And that deserves a lot of attention. And, you know, PGA Tour players lead a pretty spoiled life at times.
Oh, and, really? I don't agree.
And, you know, and their comments, sometimes a little butterfly floating by on a sunny day can upset them once in a while. Not all of them. But when he said that comments, and Gil Hans was in the booth, and they told him of those comments, he was so professional. He just chuckled, and he said, "Okay, Bob, we'll see. And then it got into the thing. It was Rory and some others that, you know, when you take out and John Rahm was in it too, that you take out so many trees, that all of a sudden you're diminishing shot value and recovery efforts in the rough, and that will affect scores and this and that. And that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
And, you know, here was the most difficult question. And I love how Gil answered it, because he answered it truthfully. And I this is a tough one, Jerry. When, I forget who on the Golf Channel posed this to him. He said, "Now, wait a second."
It had to be Chambly.
It was Chambly. No, it was
Okay.
Chambly. He goes, you know, back in the day, they looked at, especially Ross, looked for courses that didn't have a lot of trees because of the cost and time of tree clearing. And then your job's only half done. You got to dynamite the roots and the stumps and pull them out with horses. And that, so they looked for that. And then this was really insightful that, and I noticed this too, Jay, you go on the Tufts archives, which are online, anyone can look at. You don't even have to be a member, or you go there like I do and look through the boxes. Donald Ross, Alistair McKenzie, Seth Rayner, Tillinghast, they all, on their different squiggly plans, and some were more detailed than the other, they showed proposed trees.
Right.
Now, if they didn't like trees, why would they show that on there? And that's a tough one. So, you know, there's and again, this is complex, and I'm not saying I have the answer. So, when a course like Inverness or Oakland Hills South takes down the majority of the trees, despite the fact that on Ross Ridden Plan there were
trees. We're going to plant a tree proposed here. Right.
You know, what is the purest design intent? Everybody jumped on the bandwagon, and I like this. I have some projects where the club says, "Ray, we want to get rid of 90% of our trees. We want to keep this majestic oak, this one, 100-year-old white pine, and that's fine. And then take out the other." And then I have others like Bill Pulte at Pulte Homes, and you know, I'm on some of the courses at Boyne. Steve Kircher likes some trees,
Yeah.
And so you've got some clientele and individuals in the golf that like it. So you got, the Parkland type course, you got the links course, you got everything in between. So when is it right? Is it right to go back to that? And you know what? I don't think you could say, well, Oakland Hills South,
Don't get me
Ronime,
started. Don't get me started
yeah,
on
and
Oakland Hills South.
they were all dead wrong to do what they did. I mean, I think the industry is so nice when you have apples, oranges, and bananas in terms of what golfers can choose from. And I'll be honest, Jerry, and the allure of northern Michigan is
Just
some
the
of the
tree. Yeah.
beautiful parkland courses that
Yeah.
people go up and, they're kind of in their own thing. Now, I like them both. So I sound like a true politician that, hey, I like this and I like this. I try to vary that. And Ron Whitten, who's the former golf editor of Golf, that gave me my greatest compliment. Ray, you use the lay of the land in your projects. There is no, when I look at your projects, he said years ago, he goes, there's no Ray Hearn stamp. Oh, this is the Ray Hearn course. This is the Ray Hearn. And, and some might say architects like Arthur Hills had a look
Yep.
that he did. And that's all fine. And Reese
No, that's fine.
Jones.
Tom Fazio's like that. Fazio
Yeah.
golf courses,
Absolutely.
they're great, but it's pretty easy to see that this is a Tom Fazio design. Okay,
Or Reese Jones. Reese
Or
is like
Reese
that too,
Jones.
as a stamp. And there's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I
Yeah.
just always like, I let the land talk to me. And now I wasn't like some of the other guys that they would get into 2 bottles of scotch and then they'd go out to the site and start designing. I'm never like that, but I always want to mix it up a little and think about what the land is telling me, whether it's a restoration, renovation, 9-hole addition, new 18. I really, you got to spend a lot of time understanding what the land is telling you to do, what the routing is. Is the original design intent of Bendelow worth preserving? Has it been too messed up by modern architects? Now, let me just share, answer your question, because I've gone about it a roundabout way. I just finished the most difficult assignment in my life when I'm restoring a bunch of Ross greens at the tremendous Crestmont Country Club in West Orange, New Jersey. Hole number 11 is a par 3, and Ross was criticized in the late 1920s. It was a 1922 course, that it was too severe back then when green speeds were 5. And now at the club, they're 11. So
Yeah.
the board and the great superintendent, Pat Hickey, just an all-star, and Mark DeLauro, the great head professor, and they're like, Ray, we want to keep Ross's design intent, the integrity of this, and the challenge that was noted in Golf Illustrated in the late 1920s, but we want modern-day pin placements. Come on, help us. That, in golf architecture, Jerry, that is where the men and women in my profession, that is as close as we get to brain surgery. When you got to do that, and man, that was difficult. And I'm going to do a social media post on that where I'm going to I showed the membership that here is the color-coded slope analysis of what you have. It shows that there's flashing red sirens everywhere on the screen. And here's the one, and oh my goodness, look at these oases of green surrounded by the challenge of the Ross transition areas. And then what I did to the false front. So, and then I've got the final drone photograph. It's beautiful. The members love it. Was it difficult to do? Oh my goodness, yes. And, but
Really out there by hand, Ray, forming some of the bumps and the slopes by hand.
Oh,
Had to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
just going back, and you and I have talked about this a lot last year about, I'm hypercritical of Gill, what he did at Oakland Hills. Like Aronimink and Oakmont, I think he left the right trees in the right spots. You can't, it just seems to me that he deforested Oakland Hills. And why don't you just, you can't grow 100-year-old trees in a minute and a half. You can't replant them. So, let's take some of them out. If we didn't get it all right in the beginning, then we'll go back and take a couple more trees out. That's the only thing that really upset me at Oakland Hills. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah, I think I've been out there, and I think he did an incredible job in bringing back some of the Ross features. I know.
Yep. Some of them. Yep.
Between the members, there's a little thing about the right amount of trees were taken out, too many. So that is the conversation in any club nowadays. One of the best projects that I've seen, it's not a Ray Hearn project. I think Andrew Green hit a home run for the trees that he left at Oak Hill.
Yes.
And then he shaped them up, trimmed them like vases, so they're there, but you can play under them. I think
they look like
genius.
The logo. They look like the oak tree logo. I agree with it. I thought that was the best example. Now, like I said, I thought that Hands did a really good job at Oakmont. They took out a lot of trees, but they kept a lot of vital trees. And I understand what Rory come back and say, but you know what? You can make the rough penal. Ask John Rahm after the tournament if he thought the rough was too tough at Aronimink. I'm loving this. And then we're going to see next week what the USGA does at Shinnecock, because if they thought the green complexes were tough at Aronimink, how tough can they make them? We just talked about this. Shinnecock, if it has been borderline the last 3 times they played there.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, these players are so skilled.
Yes.
That in golf architect, when they have that hitting distance, that command of shot angles and, feeding it back into small spots on greens, features, your last defense in majors is let's get as close as we can to linoleum. and then we hope it's not a real dry day where the wind picks up, it's hot, and it dries out, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, this pin is unpinnable. And the USGA, I do not ever want that task of what they go through. Oh my goodness, that is like, they got, pins and needles in their tournament division setting up, and then watching that, and it's like, oh my goodness, where did this wind come from? Where did this heat? It's like it was supposed to be 80 and little breeze, and it's almost 90. We got a warm, hot breeze, and I'm like, oh goodness gracious. That's the only thing I could think of, and it's the main reason I wanted to have you on is after Aronimink. Here comes Shinnecock. That's a good 1-2 punch for these guys. Wow.
Ray Hearn, I know you're super busy. One last project you want to tout for a minute before I let you go, because I know you got a dinner date with your beautiful wife.
Yes. So obviously we do a lot for Boyne, and we have hole number 3 at Donald Ross Memorial, just tremendous project. One of the great par 3s at Wannamoyset. We've already talked about that. But then here is a sleeper in the state of Michigan, and you got to make a phone call to get on. It's private, but with the right call to the president, you get on. We have been working for 5 years on an old Tom Bendelow classic at the White Lake Golf Club in Whitehall, Michigan, near Muskegon. And oh my goodness, what they allow me to do in terms of creativity and restoration. This club is I mean, the membership is so great, the board, and
Is the,
Jerry,
is the
I'll
project finished? Is it
no,
open now for play?
we literally work on one hole a year for them, so they don't
Okay,
disrupt
I
play.
got you.
But it is everything we've done. It hasn't been plain vanilla ice cream in terms of a minor restoration. It is like, wow, when you look at it. So let you be the judge when you go there, but the drama and then getting back some of Bendelo's design intent from a treasure, a 1930 aerial that we found at the last second through Michigan State University. And yeah, it was great. Finally, this year, Raymond Hearn Golf Design celebrates our 30-year anniversary. So that was in early May. And yeah, what a ride.
What a life it's been, Ray, and
Oh.
you're in your prime, baby.
That's what Arthur Hill said. Yeah, and he remained pretty busy, and Pete Dye remained pretty busy for a long, long time. Reese remains busy, and I even think Robert Trent Jones Jr. is, I believe he's 86, and Reese is 82, I believe, and both of them still going strong.
Ray,
I mean,
you're still in your
in
60s.
my field, no one retires in the right
I know.
mind.
I know you're still in your 60s because you and I are about the same age. So you got a lot.
65. So I still bench press 400 pounds, so I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that note, we'll let Ray Hearn go. We'll be back
There
after
you
these
go.
words from our fine partners on Up North Sports Radio's Finding Fairways, brought to us by BoyneGolf.com.
Thanks, buddy.
I want to make sure you're on time for your date.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Yeah.
Twin Birch Golf Club in Kalkaska is preparing for a spectacular golf season, and you should too. The Twin Birch Clubhouse restaurant has quickly become a local favorite, with a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch menu full of classic favorites, made with the freshest ingredients. See all the affordable membership options at twinbirchgolf.com, or save even more when you purchase Twin Birch Golf at qdealsmi.com. qdealsmi.com. See one of Northern Michigan's greatest golf values at twinbirchgolf.com.
Quit wasting time putting around and meet us at Wild Bluff Golf Course in Brimley, Michigan. Wild Bluff is a championship golf course with breathtaking views overlooking Lake Superior, with a full-length driving range, chipping area, and large putting green. Visit our fully stocked pro shop for featured golf apparel and equipment, or come to the loft to wine and dine like a pro. Like us on Facebook or visit baymillscasinos.com for more information. Your fairway to heaven starts here.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape every day. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort. Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Back to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY, our YouTube and Facebook pages. Jerry Coyne zooming with Joshua Doxtator, the PGA General Manager of Harbor Shores Golf Club. Josh, good to see you again. We were just talking off air how busy it's been now that the weather got good.
Yeah, like we were talking about, we went from I wouldn't even call it a spring. We went from cold to hot. We had a few good days in May, but now it's we're up and running, and the business is booming. So it's great to see.
Yeah, as you know, it's one of my, if not my favorite golf course in the state. Every time I talk to somebody about, have you played there yet? No, I haven't. It's the best Nicklaus course I've ever played. And one of the reasons why I wanted to get in touch with you is after watching those guys play Muirfield, and I've played there. I still think Harbor Shores is a better golf course. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the opportunity to play quite a few of Jack's signature golf courses. there's a lot of characteristics I think at Harbor Shores that don't fit the mold that you're used to seeing at Jack signature courses, right?
Yeah.
It's very unique, and just the way it all lays out, going from inland to dunes to woodlands to river, like you get all of Michigan in one golf course.
Yeah. There's no two holes that are even remotely the same, and you rarely see that. Even there's a lot of great golf courses that the couple of holes are just going to end up looking the same because of the terrain. But like you pointed out, 4 different types of terrain to deal with. Jack must have had I can't even imagine the first couple times he went out there, like, where am I going to put this golf course?
Yeah, I think the exact comment when he first got on property says, "Where do you want me to build a course?" And I think there was 13 original layouts for the golf course. And if you're familiar with, I know you're familiar with it. So where Jack's place is right now, between going from 6 to 7 and go from 9 to 10, that was actually supposed to be where the clubhouse was.
Really?
Yeah. And 7, 8, and 9 were going to be 16, 17, and 18. And it's just, like I said, there were so many things that flipped. And, just going back to some of those original documents and the drawings, it's really cool to see that.
That would make sense to have the clubhouse there because it's right off the road. And, depending on how you built the clubhouse, you might be able to see the lake. But I wouldn't argue with one. I mean, the only even remotely pedestrian hole on the golf course is number 1, which, you're going to need. You need that easy slide in because once you get going, it just never stops.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even call it easy. I mean, if you... number 1, you got to hit a decent drive, and yeah, as the green complexes are out here. Nothing's a simple up and down or an easy putt, right? So it's just, like you said, what really stands out to me is you have 18 unique holes, and nothing looks the same. They're all designed. People always ask, "What's your signature hole?" I said, "Well, we have 18 of them."
You got 18 of them for sure. And now you have the Wii golf courses open. Colin Montgomery, did he win there once or twice?
So he won in 2014, and then he backed it up in 2015.
Okay, so so he's very familiar with Harbor Shores, and you had him come in and build a short course that's getting rave reviews as well.
Yeah, that's kind of been the rage right over the last few years of some of these short courses in additions to, what we would call resort golf. But when we finished the KitchenAid Senior PGA in 24, we had this plot of land in front of our villas that we used for basically caddy parking and some media parking. And we didn't know what to do with it. It's about 4.5 acres. And Jeff Fettig and Colin have a very close relationship. And those who don't know Jeff, he's the previous chairman and CEO of Whirlpool. He's very much involved with Harbor Shores and the visionary behind everything here. So we met with Colin during the championship and just kind of said, "Here's a plot of land. What do you think?" And he talked about how Wii courses all over Scotland are just basically a sanctuary for communities to just get together, to have fellowship with grandparents, parents, and kids and things like that. So we went from talking about it to Colin and his team designing it and then getting some of those things put together. We broke ground in April of 25. It was fully sodded by August, which is incredible. I've never seen something built that fast. And now it's maturing. The heather's up. I mean, it looks absolutely incredible. In addition to the Highlands putting green, which is an 18-hole putting course, Monty's place is there. So a full service bar, fire pits. Like it's turned into, for the community, just like tonight's ladies' night. So we're gonna have like 100 ladies out there from 6 to 9 o'clock. And they'll come out. They pay $20. It includes access to the Wii course and a signature cocktail from us. So and it's something for. It's not like a league. It's more of just, hey, come out, have fun. Like everybody finds golf is, could be stuffy or intimidating or a lot of those things. And the Wii course is built in a way that's as affordable, accessible for all. Play in bare feet if you want to. Come in a t-shirt. Just come and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure you let more than groups of 4 go out at the same time. That seems to be the case. I mean, the new short course phenomenon that's now overtaking golf has brought that casual nature back into it. And, like even if couples come, the wife doesn't want to play with the husband or whatever, she can go ahead and play around on the short course. The husband can knock his brains out on the big course, and everybody's having a good time the way they want to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we're seeing that a lot too with our villas that are, I mean, it's literally the week course is right out the front door.
Yeah.
So, our sales and marketing director, Carmen, does an unbelievable job with creating experiences for these groups who come in. And, we try and tailor things to them. But I mean, when you get done, you're grilling steaks on the patio. Next thing you know, you're walking out the front door. The lights are on. The music's playing at Monty or at the week course because it's fully lighted and it's got speakers throughout the entire course. And you're having a great time with all your buddies out, in the evening. And it's just great to see because it's, from seeing it from a drawing and a vision for it to come to life is incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait to get down there and play it. Talk about the lodging. You have the villas right there. You have the hotel across the street. What other lodging options are there, Josh? I know you guys really help people with it. We've talked in the past about American Dunes and Harbor Shores. A lot of people like to come down there. It's a little bit of a trip there. What other golf courses a little closer by do you send people to if they want to change it up just a hair?
I would say more likely we send them to the Warren course or the Warren course at Notre Dame. That's
really?
That's only 40-minute drive from here.
It's
an American
incredible golf course.
Yeah, and American Dunes, it's only about an hour 5, hour 10, so that's not too bad. Our biggest thing too is like when we promote another facility, we want to make sure that whoever we're promoting it to would expect the same thing that they would at Harbor Shores, right?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of golf in the area. Of course, we have Lost Dunes, we have Point of Woods, but nobody has access to those types of things. So,
damn it.
We work very closely with American Dunes, Doug Bell, the GM there.
He's the best.
Yeah,
we love
Doug.
Doug.
And we're definitely we support each other in that whole venture of getting people over to the southwest side of Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, it's turning into a great golf destination. The Gull Lake courses are not that far as well. So if you're talking about a week's worth of golf, I didn't even think about the Warren course. I played there. Ben Crenshaw did an amazing job. And talk about a great 1-2 punch or even a 3 punch down there. I don't think you'd find 3 better courses if you were playing. I'll have to add that one in now, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like you said, you come up from South Bend, you hit Warren, you hit us, you hit American Dunes. And you can do that all on your way up to, if you're going up to Arcadia or, up to Roscommon and Forest Dunes and things like that.
Yeah, our buddies up at Boyne. Yeah, we all know, great. The assortment of resort golf courses in Michigan, it seems to be never ending. So talk about the tee sheet and when you guys are probably running out of weekends.
Weekends are very, very difficult, and we're even sometimes during the week is getting difficult to find times. We do whatever we can to get people in. Our big thing here too is pace of play. So like we don't do 10-minute or 8-minute intervals. We do 12-minute intervals. We want to make sure that people have a good time out there and they don't play in over 4 hours and 15 or 20 minutes. So that's very important to us. So our inventory is a little bit more limited, I would say. But with that being said, the experience is that much better just because we're not just cramming people out there, to ring the register. This is Harbor Shores. This is the experience. This is the experience we want you to have. And we want you to tell all your friends about it.
But people can view the tee sheets. What's the website? How do people take their next step towards playing one of Michigan's great golf courses?
So you're going to go to harborshoresresort.com/golf to go to golf specific. We have everything there from the villas to the week course to you can access and look at tee times and book there as well.
Josh Doxtator from Harbor Shores. Good to see you again, buddy. I really appreciate it. I guess I'll have to take a look at the tee sheet and see when I can get down there. Probably in the fall. I love playing down there in the fall, though.
Yeah, September is probably the best month to play golf out here. But as you know, you're always welcome. We look forward to seeing you again this year.
Just for people looking down the road a little bit, generally closing when? In October, right?
We're actually October. It's interesting because spring seems to getting shorter and the fall seem to get longer.
Yeah.
We're typically pretty good through almost all of October, and I would say the first, second week of November is when things really kind of switch. So
Okay.
that's about closing time for us.
But you don't have one set in stone. So at the Halloween, good time to play Harbor Shores.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, there's been
Yeah.
Halloweens with 70 degrees out here, but the only thing is once we close, we close. We don't, it's
Yeah.
not, just have a day here or there. So, and then when we open, it's always typically around April 15th.
Yep. All right. Thanks again, Josh Doxtator from Harbor Shores, joining us on Finding Fairways. We'll be back after these messages from our fine partners here on Up North Sports Radio, brought to us by BoeingGolf.com.
Imagine your ultimate golf experience. There's a good chance it's Michigan's Magnificent 11. 11 spectacular courses from Boeing Golf, varied in both topography and play. Boeing Golf was named the #1 best golf destination in USA Today Reader's Choice 2025. And the Highlands at Harbor Springs is the #2 golf resort in that same USA Today poll. The ultimate golf experience. That's Michigan's Magnificent 11.
Ian Murphy from the Iron Pig here. We spent a lot of time reinventing our space in downtown Gaylord. How long has it been since you were really excited about a cocktail and dining experience? Visit Prohibition on Main Street in Gaylord, open 4 to 10 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. The adventure begins as soon as you walk in the door. Magical house-made cocktails, unique and savory small plates you won't find anywhere else. Explore Prohibition.com and seriously shake up your social life.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape every day. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort. Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
I'd like to talk about a charity golf outing happening at Grayling Country Club on June 27th to benefit the Christian Help Center here in Grayling. Go to CCCC Help Center on Facebook. It's only $65 a team. That includes lunch and dinner and 18 holes of golf. There'll be great prize packages as well. The Christian Help Center supports a lot of low-income families that are having trouble meeting all their needs, especially with spiraling grocery prices. They're also looking for donations for tea gifts, close to pin prizes, and the like. So once again, that is June 27th. You can go to Grayling Country Club and pick up your forms as well. It's time to look at the second hole at Wild Bluff Golf Course from our trip up there a few weeks ago with myself and pro Matt Phipps.
Here we are at number 2 at Bay Mills, Wild Bluff Golf Course. Matt 1 under already. Taking about 20, 25 yards off from the back tees here.
Yep.
Looks like there's plenty of room out on the right side here.
Yeah, not too difficult tee shot. It does dogleg to the left. The challenge here is the second shot to that tabletop green, but pretty open fairway here. A lot of people even hit 3-wood. I'm going to take a driver today.
All right.
3-wood is also a good play.
Let the big dog eat. That'll play.
That should be fine.
Matt's approach shot here missed the fairway on the other side of the cart path here, which I was surprised.
Yeah, me too. It took a hard kick to the right.
It did, especially into the wind.
Yes.
But we got, about 125 in.
Yep, directly back into the wind. You can see the tabletop green. Anything on the green here is a pretty good shot.
What are we featuring?
I got a pitching wedge here.
Pitching wedge, all right. we go. Safely on.
Yep, we'll take that.
All right, let's see if we can make 2 birdies in a row.
All right.
Pretty large green here, Matt. Long, oblong.
It is. You can see we just about went off. This green falls off on pretty much all sides. So,
and as we mentioned, I know it's earlier in the year, so these greens get to firm up and get a little on the slick side.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep them about 10, 10 and a half once the grass starts growing anyways.
Good time to play.
It is. Perfect.
The greens will usually hold your first shot.
Okay.
That looks pretty straight. Looks like it's going to fall a little left to right.
Yeah, I think that's going to break a little bit left, a little bit uphill here. So.
All right. For 2 in a row. Quiet, please.
Nope, left it short.
Okay. Easy lag, easy tap in. On to number 3.
1. Welcome back to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY. Sherry Coyne zooming with Don Helinski. Don, that looks like, is that the loop?
No, it's Forest Dunes out here on the back patio.
Oh, okay. It's a weird angle.
Yeah,
usually
you'd be looking over at the putting green and kind of the number 1 tee box over there.
So. Oh, I got you. Okay, you're over on that side. Normally,
got to get the sun coming on me here a little bit. So
normally when we do this, we do it on the patio so you can see 18 and 9 coming in together. One of the great views in northern Michigan for sure. But happy golf season. Good to check in with you, Don. If you didn't know, was a longtime member of our hosting staff here. But as things got so busy at Forest Dunes and now the Loop, he had to step away. We miss you, bud.
I miss it too. It's always great talking golf, and especially with all the great golf we have up here in northern Michigan.
So talk about Forest Dunes. What's been happening? I'm sure you guys have been really busy.
Well, the season kind of got off to a slow start a little bit, as I'm sure it did with most of our other cohorts here, as the weather really took to last week before it started to get to that Chamber of Commerce, beautiful northern Michigan summers that we're used to. So, but things are greening up, and business is taking a turn for us, and really picked up here these last few weekends. As you know, we are a destination resort, so people coming from all over. So a lot of folks had their trips planned, and those folks were here. Some of the more locals probably were holding off until it warms up a little bit more, but we did open April 30th and have been open for a full month now, and things are going great.
Talk about that. Advanced bookings have been strong for the last few years. What does it look like for our golfers down the line to come up with a group?
If you're looking to come up with a group on a weekend, it's going to be tough to find a hole, but there are holes out there, whether it's just got to be the right combination of nights and depend on how much golf you're looking to play. Sunday through Wednesdays we would have a lot more probability for availability for your group. And when I'm talking a group, I'm saying anywhere of eight or more. Foursomes that we'd be able to get you in probably, but 8 or more, again, depends on how many nights you're looking, but we're already booking for 27 and have quite a few rounds, and those bigger groups that want to be in the close accommodations to each other, some of those cottages and things that we have, the groups of 24 to 40, they're booking that 1 to 2 years in advance for us.
Right. No, I've heard that in a lot of destination golf resorts. I know that Bandon Dunes is totally sold out. 427 now. So the more and more people craving that great golf experience. I know they're going to get that with Forest Dunes and the Loop. So that was the other question I had. So the lodging on site got to be pretty difficult, especially on weekends this year. Is that just sold out? Is that a no-go?
I mean, it's not totally sold out. And again, you may have it may be Friday only or Saturday only.
Okay.
You may not
Yeah.
have a 2-night or 3-night, which you may be looking for. So I would say give us a call. Don't assume that we don't have any availability. But obviously weekends when it comes to July and August in particular, those are 2 busy months. So it's a little bit less there, but we have added within each of the last 2 years, we've added a large accommodation, a high-end accommodation that's real close to the clubhouse here. Last year, we added the Red Hawk Cottage, which sleeps 8. And within the last 14 days here, we've opened our largest accommodation yet that sleeps 12, 2-story walkout right on the lake called the Raven Cottage. Very high-end, beautiful facility. And those two kind of have a very similar footprint to them. The one is obviously a lot bigger with a walkout, but those two are right next to each other, right on the water, right across from the villas. So a great thing to pair up with some of those other cottages that are right there around the lake or the villas as well. If you've got large groups looking for a place to gather, stay in close proximity to each other, and then also gather at night, fire pits, grilling out, things like that.
Yeah, and of course, I don't want to bypass the bootlegger. Especially those the groups that are staying on property, they can play. How late is the bootlegger open at night now, Don?
I mean, people are squeezing in any last little bit of daylight they can. In fact, we have to push the restaurant hours back even further this time of the year, just because people are, whether it's on the big courses or the bootlegger, trying to get as many holes in as you can, and with the bootlegger being kind of a daily rate, all you can play, people are going back out. Well, we can get 2 more in. We can get a few more in, and maybe even a little bit after dusk, they're out there still. But that's was a great addition and has really taken off for us. We've got some brand new mats. So you hit off mats out there, it would be a bunch of divots if we didn't. But that has really taken off, and it's great seeing groups of 12 hooting and hollering out there and just having a blast. Again, there's 16 speakers playing music. A lot of people are playing barefoot, 2-3 clubs, putter.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Putter
and a couple of wedges. Yep. And that whole scene out there with the outdoor bar, the veranda, and everything, it's a hub of activity, no doubt about it. It's one thing, Don, that we haven't talked about in a while out there at Forest Dunes is the tremendous practice facility, the putting course. It is a pure PGA style driving range. If you're only going to play 18 holes one day, you could easily spend 2, 3, 4 hours working on your game out on the ranges, the chipping greens, and then the putting course.
Yes, our practice facility is probably up there with anybody's in the state. Plenty of room. Plenty of greens to take aim at, a separate short chipping area. It's obviously all included with your stay use of the practice facility. So you're able to get in some work, warm-up work before your round. If you need to hone some things after your round, feel free to head back out. And then we're fortunate enough as well to have basically a 2-acre putting green that is an 18-hole putting course. We call it the Hilltop. It's kind of there to the left-hand side of the practice facility. It was originally part of the original Forest Dunes development when it was meant to be a private gated community, and it was going to be a way for grandparents to introduce their grandkids to the game and just have an amenity for the residents. Well, the usage back in those days wasn't conducive for the cost to maintain it, so they let it go. And once we became kind of that destination under Lou Thompson's ownership, he decided to bring it back, and we did. And it's just another amenity. We're golf centric. There's no pool, there's no spa. We've got 3 championship courses, the Bootlegger, and the Hilltop putting course as well, along with our practice facility. So golf, it's all about golf here, and the opportunity to enjoy the game with the people you're with.
Yeah, and then of course, you know, the news came out, what was it, late 2024 or 2025, when the planned addition of a private course called Skyfall that Gil Hands is going to build. I know that memberships are open for that. Talk about that for a minute.
So we have been continuing the process here of building a membership for that. A lot of inquiries. Obviously, the name Gil Hanse is up there on the Mount Rushmore of current golf architects, and is highly sought after for renovation work on some of the most revered courses in the country.
He's been a busy boy. He's a busy man, no doubt about it.
And he has done a routing for us. It is meant to be a private club that would have more of a national type membership for it. It would be located on the north end of our property and span the entire width. We have about 1,600 acres. It would span the entire width of that, going west to east, which would take you from the northern corner, most outreaches of the loop, to the northeastern corner, which would be number 14 green of the Forest Dunes course. And that will begin clearing here some at the end of this summer, hopefully shaping next year. But a lot of these things, especially when you're talking with a membership drive, take some time to come to fruition. And so hopefully we can get some trees cleared here in the fall, and that'll spark a little bit more. We've had great interest in it. Many people already signed up for it. And then Gil's timing of his schedule factors into all that as well. And so hopefully we'll be having something, and there will be resort play that is available for play on Skyfall. You would need to meet a criteria of staying a certain number of nights and playing a certain number of rounds that would qualify you to be able to play in that select rounds on whether it's a daily basis or a weekly basis. But resort play, non-membership play is part of the program for Skyfall.
Yeah, potential, exactly. And it has its own website, right, Don?
Skyfallgolf.com, correct.
Yeah, so if you want to check that out, it's the basic routing is on there. There's some information about membership and who you contact. Yeah, Tom and Rich have a prior relationship with Gil, and it's I know it was talked about for a long time that was the best piece of property out there. I know originally Ben Crenshaw looked at doing some work from the original deal out there, and the routing looks fantastic. Gil's feedback on when he first worked on the routing and everything else said it's going to be one of the best pieces of property he's ever built on. So, I mean, a lot of focus is going to be on this build out. So you can get in on the ground floor by being a member if you go to skyfallgolf.com. And of course, Forest Dunes. Is it just forestdunes.com?
ForestDunesGolf.com.
Yeah, forestdunesgolf.com. And Don, one last thing before I let you go, because every time I come out there, it seems like more and more merchandise and gear. You guys are really getting some great logoed work. I don't think anybody ever plays out there without buying something.
No, the logo says itself. You know, it's a great honor to see people wearing the Forest Dunes logo or the Loop logo, and whether you're in an airport in California or Florida, somebody sees the logo and recognizes it and says they've played there. And our merchandising team does a great job in filling that golf shop with the latest and greatest brands that are out there and styles. And you know, the nice thing is everybody wants to rep that logo as well. So we're proud of it. And you know, there's a lot in the shop to come take advantage of if you're looking for some new stuff.
Don Helinski from Forest Dunes, I want to thank you for joining us here on Finding Fairways, and I'll see you out there super soon.
I appreciate the time, Jerry.
All right. As we like to say here on Finding Fairways, find a fairway of your own, stick a peg in the ground, pound it down the middle at number 1 on the loop. We'll be back with you here next week on Up North Sports Radio's Finding Fairways, brought to us by BoeingGolf.com. Don, thanks, man.
My pleasure.
I'll see ya.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.